Hey everyone, it's your boy Christopher Loki Collins again on December 2nd at 4:04 p.m. 2011. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video is something that I'm going to be a situation that I'm going to be facing this month. I'm going to be going to Oregon to visit my family for the first time since I started my transition, since I started my testosterone and all that. I'm excited. I'm always excited to see my family. I don't get to see them very often, but I love them so much. I look forward to getting to see my stepmom. I look forward to getting to see my dad. I look forward to getting to see my sister, because me and my sister have always been like hella tight. And my future I'm not even gonna say future brother-in-law, because come August of this coming up year, he'll be my brother. So yeah, so I get to see him, and I get to see my stepbrother, who has always been a friend to me ever since we were really little. And like I've said before in videos before, I'm very much a daddy's boy, so I'm definitely excited to be able to go see my pops. Which, by the way, as my transition's going, I can look at a picture that my fiance took of me and my dad next to each other, and I could already see, this is before I started testosterone, like how much I look like my dad. So I'm definitely pretty sure that as far as like my transition goes, the further along it goes, the more and more I'm gonna look like my dad, which is not a bad thing, because my dad's a handsome man, and I don't mean that in any weird, gross way. He's just a very handsome man, and he's a total sweetheart. He's a great guy. I I just love him to death. He's always been there for me. He's always done what he needed to do to make sure that I was okay, and he's always stood by me no matter what choices I've made, and so I'm very thankful for that. Uh, so yeah, so I'm supposed to go see them and take that. I keep wanting to say 13-hour bus ride, but I'm pretty sure it's longer than that. Either way, I'm taking Greyhound, like I do every time. I will be, as far as we know, I will be taking this trip on my own, because we can't really afford to get a ticket for my fiance to go with me. We've also talked about how she and I have also talked about how it may be best for me to go by myself and spend some more time with my dad, mainly because my dad is the kind of man that I want to be. He's sweet. He says his piece when he needs to. I mean, I'm sure, like every guy, he has his moments where he's not always like the nicest person, but we all have those moments. I can't even say that's a gender-based thing. It happens either way. But he's a really sweet guy, and he's very respectful of women. He raised me well. There's some parts of my personality that are kind of negative, that I got from a negative influence in my life when I was a lot younger, before I went to live with my dad. And I think if I spent more time with my dad, then I could start developing better ways of dealing with situations and dealing with things that I'm afraid of within myself. But that's a whole different video. So yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm also a little nervous. I'm more nervous about the fact that I will be leaving California for the first time since I started my testosterone and since I started my transition. I honestly can't. If I think hard enough, I don't think I've even left Sacramento really since I started everything. So it'll be my first time just leaving Sacramento in general, and then on top of that, leaving California. I mean, it's a big deal, because I feel safe in California. When it comes to my transition, I don't feel as nervous about going into the men's bathroom and something bad happening. Where Oregon, I don't know enough about Oregon. I lived there for a little while when I was younger, but like I said, I don't really know a lot about like certain places there. And especially with where my parents live, because my parents like live out in the middle of nowhere, and they're the one little town that they have like close by that they go into. It's little, and for lack of better words, it's very much a small country town. You know, the kind of towns where everybody knows each other, and people who live there actually own the stores that they work and the restaurants that they work and all that great, wonderful stuff. But it's a small town. I mean, this town is smaller than Anderson, California, which, yeah, you know, it was just horrible. I mean, it was horrible when I was living as a lesbian. I went through a lot of bullshit. I went through a lot of bullying. I went through verbal bullying. I went through being gay bashed to the point where I ended up in the hospital. There's my baby. To the point where I ended up in the hospital, and it was just a horrible experience. But this town was bigger. I mean, just a little bit bigger than this small town in Oregon, which might explain my nervousness, honestly. But at the same time, that's part of being man. That's part of this transition, is going into the bathroom that is my gender to go into, without hesitation or without fear. I mean, the fear is natural. I mean, I can't say you can't go in there without fear. I'm sure that that other FTMs have gone through it, and I am more than sure that MTFs have gone through it on numerous occasions, and I give you guys the maddest props for, continuing, your transition and doing what you need to do to be happy with yourself. Because I can't imagine, like, how hard it is on you guys versus how hard it is on us. So, just keep up the good work. That's all I can say. But I've just, as nervous as I am about it, I've also decided that my best bet is just to, not my best bet, what I'm going to do is swallow my fear, and I'm going to do it. If I'm out at a bar with my brother and my sister, and I need to go, I'm gonna go in that man's bathroom. I'm gonna hold my head high, and you know what? Whatever.
Don't be on your foot.
Whatever happens, happens. You've only got one life, and you gotta live it to the best of your abilities, and not full of fear. And I've let a lot of my fears control me for the last 30 years of my life, and it's something that I'm trying to slowly work on. That way it doesn't become such an issue anymore. What are you jumping around about?
Nothing. Hurry up and finish.
Okay.
We have to go get the money order because it's already after 4.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much my thought processes on it is, this is my life. This is the only life I've got, and I'm going to live it to its full potential. I am going to do what I need to do to be happy with myself. And fuck everybody else. If somebody's got a problem with it, I'm sorry, but it's not your life. It's not your place. It's mine. So I'm definitely going to just swallow my fears on that, because it's not worth it to me to live in any kind of fear just because of other people's bullshit. So that's pretty much what I've come to terms with on that. As far as my family goes, I know that I need to be really understanding about the fact that this change is very big. It's big for me and the people around me, and it's even big for my family, because for the last 30 years of my life, they've known me as a female, and I know I'm always going to be like their little girl in their head, and there's nothing that I can do to change that, and it's okay. It's okay for them to feel that way. But I also know that I need to patiently work with them on, I'm probably going to need to patiently work with them on the proper pronoun and calling me Chris instead of calling me by my birth name. And like I said, I got to be patient about it and be kind of gentle at how I approach it, because I know this is new for them, and I don't want to make it any more difficult than it needs to be. But with how supportive they are of me and everything, I don't really foresee it being that much of a problem. Like I said, because I don't see them very often, I do realize that it's a big step for them, and it's going to take some time. And I love them just for them being there, and for the fact that they've been just so accepting of what's going on and very supportive. I let them know every time I put a video on that has to do with my update, because I know that they want to know that I'm safe, that I'm okay, and it's as close to them as I can be right now. So that's what's going on with that.
Haley, bye-bye.
I don't think I have anything else that I was gonna talk about in this video. We've got to go pay rent, so I'm going to bounce.
Yay.
And go put on my stuff, my binder and stuff, and then head out and go pay rent. Though I might be on here, I might be posting another video a little bit later, because there's some other things that I wanted to talk about and share with you guys. So with that said, I love you all, and I hope you all have a good day.
Underwear and haul ass.
And exactly. All right, y'all have a good day. Bye.